Welcome to part 3 of Mega Man 02. Let's finish off the first half of this game. We're gonna start this off with Panther Flauclaws, or Flauclaws, or however you pronounce his name. Again, with these Pantheons, or whatever they are. What the hell are their names? The stage itself is gonna be on a train. It's supposedly the train of North America. So apparently it's Amtrak, but in the future. You see, Zero here does not have a train ticket, so therefore he has to jump a whole bunch of cars just to get to the front of the line. We confirmed that there are supplies in this transport train. Watch out for obstructions and seize the train. Oh! This stage is a bit dangerous because of the bottomless pits that come into play, but get this, there's a secret right here, the Cyber Elf Emic. He might come into play later, or might be useful. He just heals you fully. So he's more or less just kind of an aid, that's about it. But this train level right here, you want to watch out for these poles right here, but you don't want to jump immediately, or if you do, you want to time your jumps, because after the third pole, which is red, the fourth pole will be the one that hits you. Jump over that one. You only have to deal with that if you're on the top of the train cars, which is about 70% of this level. Despite this being a really straightforward and linear stage, this is actually one of the more fun levels in Mega Man 02. Which is weird of me saying because most of the levels in this game, especially closer to the end, are just straight up ass. And you may be wondering, why don't you like the level design in 02, but you think this is an improvement over the first game? Well, this game loves spikes. It has a whole bunch of gotcha moments too, where you won't be able to see what comes at you until it's too late, and you probably die instantly. Mr. Zero, please listen. Oh wow, Mr. Zero, really? Enemy mechanoids are approaching you. Their mission is to retrieve the supplies. Please protect the supplies and defeat the enemies. Ah! Alright, so this is a bit of a drag on the mission. You have to protect these crates from getting abducted by these things. You won't fail the mission if these crates are taken, but it does take a hit on your letter grade. And if you want those EX skills and farms, you want to keep that A or S rank. S rank is all I like to call it because this game is freaking hard. How many of these things are there? Damn. Congratulations, Zero, you just secured our lifetime supply of bubblegum. But bubblegum, that's it? You soldiers suck! But the bubblegum was meant for CL. We're getting closer to the end of this stage, and quite frankly, a hard boss fight in Panther Flauclaws, or whatever his name is. He is a... we'll get to him eventually, but he's a challenge. And for all the wrong reasons, because the GBA screen does not support his movement patterns. Hey you! Don't you know that this is Master Harpuya's territory? Huh, a master of the resistance force. I shall stop you! Alright, so Panther here. Well, okay, first off, you're gonna be in between two platforms with these two trains. And if you go anywhere in between the two trains or off the screen, you die. Alright, so Panther here. He is a bit of a nuisance because he's gonna be jumping all over the place. And not only that, he's going to be shooting spark balls, sparky balls all over the place. So my advice, even though it's hard to not get hit, is to stay close to him and make sure he doesn't get away too far. No, I can't believe this! Master Harpuya, I'm ashamed. I was not good enough. What was that extra H? Come on, translation, what was that? But yeah, if you have the ice chip, which you'll get from Antarctica, then you should be able to deal with, almost said polar cameras, but that was the previous boss. You should be able to deal with Panther easily. And from defeating the Panther, you'll get the spark shot, and you also get the thunder chip. as well as a new form, the active form. Back to Elpisius. Let's see what he's up to. Nothing at all, he's just standing there. Great Commander. 2, 1. Please don't scramble my DNA. Transfer complete. Excellent. We have enough supplies to launch our all-out attack. The preparations are almost complete, and we are going to open fire shortly. Thank you very much for your support, Zero. We appreciate your continued support. Ah. Alright, so the active form, you'll be able to do rolling jump slashes. Zero's signature ability is reintroduced in this orange form, and you can even do a rolling slash on the ground. All you have to do is dash and then press the down button and attack in order to do it. Pretty neat, and one of my favorite forms to use because it turns Zero into a rolling death machine. It's also useful for the next boss coming up, Phoenix Magnion, who a lot of people will say is the most annoying boss in the whole entire game, if not the whole entire Zero series. Well, good thing I'm here because I do have a strategy for you, which will cut down some of the annoyance. And that's mainly due to how you proceed with this level. Let's skip this dialogue because it's not really important. All we need to do, destroy Phoenix Magnion in the power rooms that he inhabits. Good luck. Yeah, why don't you do one of these missions, Alpizo? Destroy all the power room. Oh, okay, yeah, I'm just kind of over it at this point. Alright, the power room. I will admit I did a couple of test runs on this mission just so I can see if I could get the right order. And it seems like I did, so what you want to do, cut through these pantheons right here. Watch out for the floating mines because they will explode on contact, but you could use your saber to knock them away, which will uncover some broken walls. I'm gonna switch back to Rise form just so I can do my combos. We got the Cyber Elf Stocktis, who by using him, will make enemies drop more items upon defeat. Now here's the cool thing about this stage. Ironic as that may be, but there are branching pathways here. You can go right and continue the mission as normal, or you can go up by knocking out the ceilings with the bombs. If you go up, that will make the boss fight with Magnion easier because, for some reason, the mission doesn't end at a certain point. The mission has you destroying 4 computer rooms throughout the facility, and whichever computer room you were in last, that's when Magnion shows up and fights you. We even got the Cyber Elf Grandy, who's going to be useful for later on. Seal even tells you that it's a precious elf. They'll double your life bar after you use them. Anyway, back to the subject of Phoenix Magnion. The boss fight's difficulty depends on the room you were last in. I'll talk about that in a few minutes. Man, we are going through this stage extra quickly, what the hell. Anyway, here's the boss of this stage, or the mini-boss rather, Gasimir. Unique name for a crab, but he's not that unique actually. It's pretty easy. He shoots bubbles at you, which you could cut through with the blaster. I'm playing this on the Zero collection, by the way. And he climbs the ladder with you, which you could just get in between the claws and climb with him. That's about it. Easy as piss boss, you shouldn't die to him. Anyway, the computer rooms, also easy, except the bullet patterns are kind of hellish. You just stand in one spot and shoot the core. Now, back on the subject of Magnion again before I get sidetracked again. You saw those grates on the ground in that computer room? Well, that contributes to the boss fight. On occasion, spurts of lava or fire will shoot up into the ceiling. And the more of those there are, the harder it is to avoid those. See, like right here, there are a grand total of 6 or 8 in this room. If I fight Magnion in here, that's going to be a bitch to avoid, as well as Magnion himself. But if I go down to the lower floors where I should have came from, those floor grades will be like 2 or 4, which means it's easier to avoid that crap. This is probably the most angry, borderline depressing Mega Man soundtrack I've ever heard. But that doesn't mean that Mega Man 02 is a bad soundtrack, oh no. In fact, I actually rather like 02's soundtrack. It is way different than what came before, especially 01, which I did not really care about, but Mega Man X and Classic Mega Man does not sound like Mega Man 02, that's for sure. What are you doing here? How dare you fool around in my area? I am Phoenix Magnion. I will make you pay for this insult with my Phoenix Flame. I shall purify your evil mind with my flame. Alright, Phoenix Magnion. The most annoying boss probably in Mega Man history. However, in my opinion, he can be quite fun when you get down his pattern. What you need to know about Magnion is that during the first phase of the boss fight, if you don't attack, he won't attack. Which means he'll just float there until you make the first strike. That's when he'll teleport. And when he does teleport, he'll try to do a couple of different things. Number one, he'll try to dash at you with his Phoenix Force, like that. Number two, he'll try to grab you, which will set him up for a counterattack if you're quick enough. And number three, he'll split himself into 4, I guess, after images, I'm not sure, but he'll split himself into 4 and attack you that way. It's hard to tell which one's the real Magnium when he does that, but slash around freely, he'll get him eventually. And I highly suggest if you have the active form, use it against this boss. You will knock him out of almost any attack he will do with just the spin slash alone. The second phase of the fight, he will use his golden form to chase you around, and you do not want to touch Magnium when he's in that form. He'll body slam you, and not only that, he'll summon clones from the dead, which is Agile, Bits, Colonel, and Vile from the original Mega Man X games. Also start to hear it in his voice, he's getting a bit frustrated. Morera. At least that's what I think he's saying. The whole verbal dialogue is in Japanese, whatever verbal dialogue there actually is in 02. Which is honestly kind of fair for a game of this era. I'm not sure if they're going to spend the money for an English cast of a GBA game. I will be back again and again until you will pay for your insult. And after insulting Phoenix Magnion, we just got the fire chip, which will add fire effects to our Z-Saber and our blaster. And we just captured the EX skill of Phoenix Magnion, the Tensuzan. The actual Shoryuken uppercut that Zero had in the previous games. It's actually one of the most useful abilities in this game because he can cut right through iframes with that. Thank you very much, Zero. Another concern has been handled thanks to you, and our operations are moving smoothly. I'm now very confident of our success. Nice. Now, before we begin our next mission, which is going to segue into the beginning of the second half of the game, we're actually going to take a break real quick. So stay tuned for part 4 on Monday where we actually get things done. Oh yeah, this is the part where El Piso will actually serve as your save because we're going to go into a almost point of no return, but not really. Or not. Okay, maybe you still have to go to CL to save. Never mind. Let's talk to this old guy. You must be Zero. My name is Doigt. What kind of name is that? As Serval told me, you're so well designed that I can't believe you're an old type Reploid. I'm gonna see your inside, so do you mind if I rip you apart? I'm kidding. No, really, I'm just kidding. Don't look at me like that.